Want me to spell it out for you? F-R-I-N-D-S.
Hello.
Hi, you guys. My name is Natalie.
I'm Tommy, and welcome to our vlogs.
Yeah, so today we wanted to introduce you guys to our 3-week vlog series that is going to be covering maintaining close relationships as young adults. And within that, we're going to be going into 3 different segments. Today, we're going to be discussing decision making, what that looks like in relationships. Next week, we're going to be going over listening and accepting feedback. And then for week 3, we'll talk about forgiveness, staying positive, and we will wrap it all up for you guys. So for today, first what we find most important, in relationships, and this is a bit about what Tommy and I have experienced as well. So most important to us is learning what's important to you, finding your identity and what kind of lifestyle you want to live. And so we're going to be going over a few different authors, but from this book, it's Caroline J. Simon, and her book is The Disciplined Heart. And in chapter 2, it covers love and self-knowledge. And really just what she talks about in this chapter is finding your identity, finding what you value most. And this can be many different things. For Tommy and I, it really is kind of our beliefs and our faith. We both grew up in a Christian household, and so staying true to that has become very valuable for us. It might look different for other people. Maybe you find sports really valuable, music, whatever it may be. But yeah, just really, knowing what you love. So that's our first part.
Yes. And so with that, it's important to recognize those interests that you have, so then that way you can really invest in your relationships. And so in this book, The Interpersonal Communication, there's multiple theories, and one of the theories that we find that relates to your passions, the things you love, knowing yourself, it's important to have social exchange theories, which ultimately states that individuals are motivated to interact with others in ways that serve their self-interest. So that ultimately means that you should be surrounded by people in your lives, whether it's friendships or intimate relationships. It's important to have the same values, beliefs, self-interest, to continue those relationships and benefit each other in that.
Yeah, and so within that, a hard thing that we have both faced is kind of having to distance ourselves from toxic relationships, or even relationships where you have friends that don't value the same things as you. And it is hard, but in this book, Making Connections by Kathleen Galvin, chapter 23 discusses difficult conversations and how to discuss what matters most. So Douglas Stone goes into the fact that conversations can be very difficult, especially when you are emotionally invested in an issue. You are interacting with a person with whom you have a history. And so this is where it tends to get complicated, is you have a history with a group of people or one specific person that you don't necessarily want to let go of, and you don't have to. It's just having that conversation of, hey, this is what I find more important now, and this is what I find valuable, and what I want my life to revolve around. And they can either choose to say, hey, that's awesome, me too, I want to come alongside you in that, or I don't agree with that at all, and kind of go your separate ways. But ultimately, it will be best for you and what you value and what you want to move forward in life.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's huge. And so just a reminder with that is, once you have those difficult conversations, a theory that is helpful is to remember is in the Interpersonal Communication Theories book on management theory, which ultimately says, when the world is as we want it to be, our beliefs and desires merge or integrate smoothly into effortless and relatively mindless decisions. So this pretty much states that once you have those difficult conversations, it is important to have them, because then you start to see how that was helpful for you to live a life that's more smooth and
fulfilling for you.
And that's...
Yeah, once you're able to kind of let go of those toxic things or whatever it was that wasn't
In your best
filling
interest.
you, yeah, and in your best interest, then you're able to finally start moving forward with the things that you find valuable.
in maintaining relationships.
Yeah.
And so we hope that you got something out of this vlog, our first one, which is on decision making, just what that looks like to maintain close relationships. As we are young adults, we've experienced that.
Yeah.
Truly just knowing ourselves,
Yeah.
knowing what we love, what we're passionate over,
Yeah.
and
Choosing to have those difficult conversations, even though they're hard. And then, yeah, I mean, the uncertainty management, that everything will hopefully just fall into place once you start doing what you love and what matters most to you.
yes.
So yeah, next week we'll
stay
be
tuned.
covering listening and feedback. Yeah, so yeah, tune back in and
And
we'll
what
have,
that
we'll have
looks
a little bit more advice.
Bye.
Bye.